For many years have I ruled over my people, the good people of various lands, sea, sky, and earth. And unto them I said, I am the hump of the world, and from me, yea, thou shalt be fed in mind, in body, and in soul. And yet, there are many who ask me, Emperor Scottimius, your majesty, your lordship, your wondrousness, is not the true power the one who does not wield it, but rather the one who works behind the throne to pull the strings of those in power? And to that I say, perhaps, it has never been my intention to rule from a position of shadow and doubt. And yet today, loyal subjects, we shall embark upon a new adventure. An adventure of deceit. An adventure of secrets. An adventure of manipulation, even. We shall try, and we shall try hard, to be the custodians of the land and the people, as the Pukajutsu has said, the genitor. That is correct, Elizabeth. With you, my loyal subjects, and with this, my scepter of invisibility, we shall be able to aid in the dilemma of the king here in the kingdom of Ankist. Perhaps there shall be enough discussion for many, many chapters to come, but we shall be forced. We shall be forced to venture into the kingdom together. Now, as always, I will ask my loyal subjects to let me know if the audio levels, yea, they are good, etc., etc. Make sure that thou hast libations aplenty. For today, we shall be trying to save the people of the kingdom. Come along, and we shall learn of what house we shall belong, how we can influence the king, and perhaps even how we can accomplish our own goals while keeping the people happy, fed, and bombed out. It does not! Paximo and Requiem, welcome! And the Crosshair, excellent. I shall require my secret police, and I shall require discretion. I shall keep it low. Requiem, quite the opposite. I feel at risk of a slip at any moment. And yea, saith the humps, it is good. Thou shalt keep me apprised of the audio levels. Of course, a warning. There are references to things that are unpalatable, morally and ethically wrong. And I would advise those participating and watching to understand that we are embarking upon a role-play journey. And I shall be doing my best to do so ethically. Yes, of course. Flower, I understand. Flower, we shall begin with the history of the Kingdom of Ankist and perhaps my own house, the house to which I belong. But then, if thou requirest not spoilers, then thou shalt be dismissed. Note, none of the atrocities described in the King's Dilemma Chronicles are in any way endorsed by the creators and distributors. Welcome to the Kingdom of Ankist, a place of daring expeditions, gruesome battles, and arcane mysteries. No weirdness! Thou hast not. Come, join us! This realm shall be of body and of mind. Exactly, Pukajutsu. For I sayest unto the people, why hast thou be given nipples if thou canst not slip them unto thy neighbor? What does it mean? I do not know. Located in the northern continent of Lywick, Ankist is one of the largest kingdoms of the known world, but it's not the only one. Kung Fu Fenris, of course, is correct. Great hordes of barbarians await just beyond our borders, wait to swallow the kingdom whole. This is an excellent question, Flower of August. Perhaps a better one. Why hast the Batman's costume nipples? My goodness, the slip is upon us. The kingdom of Muir, to the northwest, advanced both culturally and technologically. A likely ally, perhaps. The small and harmless kingdom of Sidlada, to the south, with its stingy lands and stingier people. Small and harmless. I expect nothing good to come of the place known as Sidlada, named because of the sound that comes off your lips when you first see it. Ugh, Sidlada. Ugh. The Republic of Kaupias, to the northeast, with commercial abilities beyond imagination. Usury galore! He even invented unions. Flower of August, your suggestion has been noted and will be dismissed. Quiet isolationism. How can we have a bacchanal with isolationist policies? I wish to know my neighbors in the heat of the party. The Kausukian Empire. Oh, this is excellent, the Crosshair. Thank you for being my linguist with the minguist. The Kausukian Empire to the distant east, where the Emperor lives in opulence, while the people struggle. Naturally, of course, I am not that Emperor. My people have never struggled. If they have, I have always been there to help them with their struggles. The southern continent, barely explored, is known only for the fierce ivory desert and the tales and legends shared by the few foreign travelers venturing to our lands. Ankist has been enjoying several decades of peace, but less than 2 centuries ago it was divided into many small kingdoms and raider tribes, of which the Fenrir is one, naturally. We shall find them soon, I hope, conquered in wars or united by diplomacy over the centuries to be incorporated as duchies or marks. The great Union of Ankist. Little is known about what happened before this age of fragmentation, but what we know for sure is that all the lands of the known world were ruled by several lost civilizations throughout the ages. What caused these civilizations to fall is unclear. Perhaps another civilization simply beat them to the cultural victory. Perhaps another civilization conquered them through brute war. And perhaps France and China need to stop wonder spamming. You are going to assume the role of head of the council. What else shall I be with a mug such as this? A governing body ruling in the name of the king located in Libra, the capital city of Ankist. Before you begin, take a quick test to determine the house that suits you best. Naturally, of course, I know to which house I belong, but I would have my subjects know the thoughts in my head. In a financial crisis, is it moral to sacrifice knowledge in order to save money? Nay! It is never moral to sacrifice knowledge. Money cometh, money goeth, wine floweth, so saith the humps. It's a good question, Kung Fu Fenris. They have considered the undershirt, and they did not want to wear it today. Is it all right to restrict certain religious practices that clash with the established cult? Indeed, it is. One must remember, the religion of the humps bringeth joy unto all the people, and therefore it is appropriate to restrict religious practices that interfere with the party. If a neighboring country gets invaded, do we step in to support them? If we are sober enough, of course, we support our fellow neighbors, and then they shall invite us to their pool party. with childbirths on the Flower of August. Here in the kingdom, we refer to it as the cult of the mommy. With childbirths on decline, do we strongly incentivize families to have children? Aye, we do. Oh, Paximo, of course. Fergie of the humps. I knew Fergalicious once. She was indeed a bad bitch. Oh, I have to hold the... Here we go. Each house has different long-term goals and backstories which affect their mutual relationship. Select info to read more about your house. Well, let us do this. What is now known as the Marquisate of Kron was once the heart of the ancient Sabian League when it was at its peak. In the following centuries, it fell into disgrace and became a poor country. But it changed when we joined the kingdom of Ankist in the year 120. Your family had the opportunity to invest in mills and vineyards. Wheat and wine, feeling fine, thus is the song of the people. The wine produced in your lands is famous for being the best in the kingdoms, also known as Drunk Skull. Kran has a terrible reputation for his bloodlust. This is great. The neighboring kingdom of Sidlada often complains of constant raids, supposedly carried out by the Cranards. Even if your family puts responsibility for these attacks on the bandits of the southern steppes, Fenris, I'm watching you. They are actually carried out by our troops, disguised as raiders who rob the merchants of that small, poor kingdom, tormenting its people. Ugh. Sinister reputation. Sinister reputation. Goodbye, Flower of August. Tell me, Flower, what shall I remember? The people of the other duchies and marquisates believe Kron is a den of cutthroats and publicly disapprove of raids, but secretly they're grateful because they guarantee the security of the southern borders. However, they hope that you never completely take out the external enemies so that your appetite for violence is never satisfied. This is a strong possibility. Kron or let us read Hogan. Ah, yes, remember to always, socks. One must remember, if thy feet are not yet covered, thou must crusheth the grapes of thine enemies. Stamp them until they make a delicious blood wine, and serve it unto your people, saying, Yea, the emperor hath provideth. So saith the Book of Humps. Along with a note and Auntas, the Duchy of Coden formed the original nucleus of the kingdom. The boundary between the two and the fact that Coden was the natural outlet to the sea led them to trade and gave each other mutual support. The old tree king, your ancestor, had no male heirs. When his daughter married the son of the king, their heirs joined the two kingdoms, and the first seed of the kingdom of Ankist was placed. Your family has a privileged relationship with the royal family. When you join, you do so as an equal. You wouldn't be vassals of the crown. Okay, I understand. You always rely on the royal family for your protection, preferring to invest in trade and agriculture rather than in arms and army, a strategy that has been successfully tested. Being right in the middle between fertile lands and the fishing sea of Chaile, your people rarely suffer hunger, and your family is one of the richest in the kingdom. We have a reputation of being hospitable and friendly, but also decadent and unmotivated. Decadent, perhaps. Unmotivated, never. We shall be the Kron. Please note, Kron is here to the southeast, bordering the southern steppes. Tranquility only in death. I would like to note, the House of Kron may go to war with its neighbors to satiate its bloodlust, but we do it only for the good of others, and for the good of the party. We shall select House Kron. We shall select House Kron. A group of scholars in Libra recently discovered the ancient chronicles often blame a black circle, dark rising sun, cursed eclipse, or other similar images for causing the demise of past empires. After observing similar clues in recent years, historians have started speculating about the existence of a secret society that has been leading civilizations to oblivion for centuries. the black hole sun, won't you come and take away my civilization's pain? I'm already losing. Fuck China and France. They've built all the wonders. This organization is referred to as the Black Dawn. Boo! Boo! Kung Fu Fenris, bring those tomatoes into my palace! Thou shalt see what shall happen to you. Some think they are a force of chaos, and therefore secretly run by the Crosshair. Others view them as an engine for creative destruction. Some view them as heralds of a new dawn, harbingers of progress and change. Whatever their true nature really is, it seems a huge battle is coming. As head of the council, you have the power to shape the future of this kingdom, while me and my loyalist, stalwartest, staunchest advisors. Come and staunch me, advisors. Please, it's getting hot. But the Black Dawn is lurking in the shadows. Its existence is threatening, and yet intriguing. Your role is to inform the king about the decisions of the council, but it is within your power to alter them if you so wish, provided you have enough power. It's time to begin. A new king is about to be crowned. How will the future of Ankist unfold? Before we begin, I shall point out, we have the Keeper of the Torture Chambers and the Keeper of Secrets, the Crosshair. We have the Advisor of Keeping It Real, in the chat, Requiem Lost. Kung Fu Fenris has declared himself to be the leader of the barbarous tribes to the south, in the southern steppes. Sunkissed. And thus, the name of Sun-Kissed Skin came to existence. At any rate, tag yourself as one of my sweet advisors, and we shall party. Begin! We shall discover how to do this at the same time. Harald V is crowned king by the prior mother of the cult. The people erupt in a cheer of joy. Our hopes of enduring prosperity are renewed with a new king, advisor of sweetness. And thou, advisor Pukajutsu, toss me one of them Capri Suns, for I must quench my thirst. Foreign dignitaries from Kasuk, Kaupius, Sidlada, curse their name forever, and Muir crowd the royal castle to evaluate the new king and win his favor. Harald V seems pretty busted up already. Look at that busted mug. He's wearing chainmail on his head as if he is expecting an attack at any moment. Excellent weirdness, an excellent choice. The advisor of bad decisions and sarcasm. If I must deliver the news to a rival, weirdness, I shall rely upon you. The ceremony is followed by a feast, lasting for 3 days and nights. Hell yes, that must have been me. All along the streets of Libra, our capital. A week later, sitting on his throne behind the grand chiseled door of the council room, the new king addresses us for the first time. Any authority is flickering. Power can be a blessing or a curse for those on whom it is exercised, he says. To which we as one shall roll our eyes. Oh, a new king crowned, bemoaning his state as some poor candle in the wind. Huh, says I. Bonum vesperum to you, Cthulhu, and welcome to the kingdom of Ankist. Us cranites, cranberries, whatever. We shall be serving the king and making decisions for ourselves. After a long pause, he adds, ruling is an unsolvable dilemma. Whoa! The Eclipse keeps track of the 6 storylines, advancing with each story chapter. When they are all complete, the eclipse will end, and the uprising will begin. Very exciting. I was thinking Crazens, actually, Requiem Lost. However, you keep it real. I like this. This is the map. You can choose your next dilemma from the sidebar. Change the zoom level between the various things. The resources to the right represent the 5 resources, or the status of the kingdom. Influence, wealth, morale, welfare, and knowledge. Naturally, welfare is, for our people, important. Every dilemma will move 1 or more of these resources, changing the stability of the current reign. What I need is to know myself. The archives collect information about past reigns as well as the recorded history of the kingdom. Excellent. We have very little to speak of as of yet. As of yet, very little has happened. Manage the council and review information about the houses here. Spend coins to replace council members. And to form alliances when your relationship level with another house is maxed out. Can you have a kingdom without people? Welfare is important if you want to keep it real. I agree, Kung Fu Fenris. Far too many. If you form an alliance with another house, your total power increases by 1. Alliances have other benefits, such as reducing the cost of corruption. And the cost of replacing council members. Costs are increased for enemies. And thus saith that old prophecy, keep thine friends close and thine enemies even closer within dagger range. With your choices, you can try to achieve the long-term goal of your house and 2 secondary goals. Completing them will grant you more power, plus a bonus of cohesion or dissent for the uprising. Now, I will be trying to understand this as we go. However, let us look at the House of Kran. Our goal is to conquer another kingdom. Important. We will be given the opportunity to unite the kingdom in war, and we shall take it and pursue it. For once we have united more under our banners, the party shall recommence, baby. Secondary goals. Recruit in the army people of Natar and institute a vigilante force. Yoo-hoo! I would like to point out, you can see some of these houses I already have a good relationship with, it would appear. And it will cost power for me to form an alliance or reveal their goals. Bloodin, I am less powerful with. Koden, of course, we are rivals. Dualak, more positive. Gamam, more negative. Olwyn, more negative. Solad, nothing. Tyrell, less. And Torque, less. A vigilante force. Exactly, Requiem. It is a peace that remains vigilant forever. That is the vigilante force, exactly. So we have a couple of positive relationships as it stands. Perhaps we will be able to work with them to forge alliances soon. Ooh, preparations. All right, well, we shall begin, perhaps. There are no dilemmas in the city of Libra. There are 2 in the kingdom and 1 in the world. I said before that it is important to keep one's enemies close. Closer still than one's friends. However, I think we should begin far. I am not sure what to be expected here from the city of tents, but we shall view it. Murano, a rich merchant from a remote desert city called the City of Tents, wants to negotiate a lucrative trade agreement. Excellent! Bring on your corn! Or your drugs, whatever you have, really. Among his samples of goods is a slave concubine in chains. He claims the woman comes from a desert temple that allegedly hides the golden map, a fabled item we've been seeking for decades. However, many of our people are against slavery, and with good reason. Excellent, Kung Fu Fenris. We shall destroy this merchant Murano together. Do we force the rich merchant to free the slave? Thus begins a dilemma. To solve a dilemma, use your power to make the final decision after the council has gone through the voting phase. Approving the majority is free. but subverting it will cost you power equal to the difference in votes +1. Be careful. If your power reaches 0, the current reign will end. As the head of the council, my vote has weight, mass, girth, as it were. But it is easy to, as Requiem may say, go with the flow and keep it real. If more people prefer a certain decision, then perhaps we should go for it. Solving a dilemma moves the resources on the track, as predicted by the red and blue gauges. The amount by which it moves will be revealed after the vote. Several houses would like to vote aye. One of the houses would like to vote nay. The majority of these houses would like to vote aye, as would I. However, I need to know what it does if I click these. Oh, I think that costs... I can influence each individual house by spending power, by spending something to switch their vote. Interesting. Very interesting. So perhaps I could spend coin to flip this house to the other side. By doing so, if I wish to vote against the majority, I can pay to have the majority flip to me. However, this is simple. Of course, we free the slave. Rich merchant or no, we have rules and laws and rights here. I do not disagree, Cthulhu. Being able to purchase, with perhaps some sort of experience, the loyalty of some members of a secret cult would indeed be incredibly valuable. However, Morano, if you wish to trade with us, you must also keep it real with us, and human rights belong to all humans. I say aye! We can't tolerate slavery. We force him to free the concubine and send him away. This compromises our trade agreement. But our people rejoice. Go council, that we stood up for the poor woman. Many are also excited at the prospect that she may reveal the location of the mythical golden map. Legend says it leads to an endless fountain of liquid gold. Kung Fu Fenris, you are correct. You are correct here. As a kingdom with a feudal society, I, as head of the council and secret emperor, do indeed rely on the back-breaking labor of those people that populate the kingdom to keep me in riches and in sweet togas. However, I will say, I do believe the people of the Kingdom of Ankist do enjoy their blood wine and their sweet, sweet roasted duck. Oh, excellent, Crosshair. Speaking of roasted duck, prepare one for the witch test. Solving certain dilemmas will have permanent side effects. When this happens, a chronicle will be registered on the table. The effects will be applied to the corresponding resources at the beginning of every reign. Positive, move them up by 1. Negative, move them down. Our choice to free the merchant's slave compromised our relationship with the southern desert lands before it even started. I take it, Kung Fu Fenris, that these southern desert lands perhaps are some of your people, but perhaps you are not aligned with this rich merchant. Oh, dude, imagine the sick point breaks from a fountain of gold. This I love. Add this to the archives. Sarah, the woman we freed, comes from a remote temple of the mother in the south of Marudi. No, of course, Kung Fu Fenris, my apologies. We shall find you on the steps in some direction from Ankist at some point. I hope we do not meet in battle, for I would hate to destroy someone I respect so much. Anyway, the south of Marudi, which we call the Ivory Desert. She says the golden map is guarded by this temple. Sarah was kidnapped and enslaved by her former master when she visited the City of Dents. Her story becomes quite popular and spurs a burst of interest in the unexplored southern continent that she calls Confurta. Ooh, a blade in the night, Kung Fu Fenris. I will be waiting for it. Waiting to parry it, I hope. Or party with it, perhaps. Sarah claims it is the land where the ancient Sabian League once prospered and fell. A The scholars immediately start preparing a caravan to retrieve the golden map and take Sarah home. But traversing the Ivory Desert, famous for tempests of burning white sand, will not be easy. We have progressed one of the stories. Each time a resource moves, the stability marker will follow it. If it either reaches the top or the bottom, the rain will end. Keep all resources in the highlighted area to score more points. Ah, so we want extremes. This I understand. So our morale has improved. Our wealth has unfortunately declined as we have put away this trade with this strange slaver merchant. I would like to see, however, this chronicle. Ah, yes, this chronicle will negatively impact influence at the beginning of every reign. Oh, wait, it's too late to cross here, you're right. Yes, go ahead. Good! I would like to continue. There it is. Conquer another kingdom, recruit in the army people of Natar, and institute a vigilante force. Now, Dualac, I feel I have improved. See, I have improved twice now. This is excellent news. Although it would appear my relationship with Kodan has now declined even further. Always push to the extreme, my dude. Excellent. Let us move back to the kingdom of Ankist. I feel that we must manage our resources well. I would like for our welfare to improve. This is something I would like. So we shall take this dilemma next and see what it has to say. The Royal Marshal reports to us 3 windmills were set on fire last night along the road between Libra and the Golden Harbor. The affected millers are asking for help rebuilding their windmills. If we do not aid them in rebuilding their windmills, then how shall we mill the wheat that we shall use to make bread, the sickest of all, and with which we will eat our sweet-ass dips? Thus saith the humps. Do we fund the reconstruction? Aye. With each dilemma, the time counter will increase. When it reaches the skull, the king has a 50% chance of dying, or 100% if it reaches the final space. So, if we are to take I, we shall reduce the wealth of our kingdom even further. However, the welfare of the people will improve, and this is important. You will also note, of course, this will improve our relationship with whatever house this is, I cannot remember. And it will indeed improve our relationship with our rival. Exactly, Requiem. Without the wind, how can people mill, my dude? This is excellent. We are all agreed! Eyes all around. With the monetary help of the crown, a small squad of carpenters is hired to rebuild the burned-out windmills with the most advanced techniques available. Hammer, nails, and just working around the clock. Really, just driving them really hard. That's the most advanced technology. After the work, we are informed that they noticed the smell of an unknown alchemical substance at all 3 locations. Perhaps this burning of the windmills was not so innocent after all. Your moral alignment determines which rewards you'll get at the end of the reign. Rewards can be coins, prestige, and/or crave. The resource track highlights the target area to score points. The more resources in the target area, the more you will be rewarded. And there is a preview of the rewards based on your current position. So currently, we shall receive, it would appear, +1 prestige, or whatever this is, and +1 crave, but no gold. No gold! I say no gold. This is, of course, because our wealth is now low down on the track, but our welfare has improved. And this is the way So saith the humps. No gold for you. Oh god, crave. Crave the crosshair. Yes, indeed. Crave, as in to crave power, to need, to want, to desire. No. This is an interesting... We shall look at our next dilemma. People of the chat, advisors all, are we interested so far in how the Emperor is progressing? I feel that things are going well. I feel indeed. Well, that does indeed make sense, the crosshair. It has its own internal logic. This makes sense to us. I would like to be friends, perhaps, with House Dualic. Feel our sting. They are far from us, but they can still lend our troops, perhaps. I would like to form an alliance, but I do not have enough coin. I require more coin. Oh, excellent weirdness. Wait a minute, aren't you the advisor of sarcasm? Oops. Let us look at the Marquises of Dualac. Before becoming a part of the kingdom, the previous kingdom rejected many alliance proposals sent by the King of Scale. However, all this changed in the year 70, when most of the ruling family was exterminated. And the few remaining were forced to join Ankist. The people are convinced it was all caused by an Ankistan conspiracy of treason. Although none of this has ever been proven, the people have never ceased to be suspicious of Libra's royal family. Well, now this is interesting, Dualac, because I am not part of the royal family. No, no! We come from a much maligned group ourselves. You complain about everything. You pretend your lands are poor, even if there is a rich trade of timber, essential for the construction of ships and buildings. You complain about the northern raiders, even if you only have a small border to defend while the rest is covered by forests. This is incredible. I cannot believe we are about to befriend the most annoying of houses. Their crest, 2 hills, atop which a porcupine, prickly, but adorable in its own small way, reigns supreme. Once I have reached the top of the scale, I will be able to form an alliance with them, but I require more gold! How do I get gold? Well, we shall have to continue finding more dilemmas out, it would appear. The High Commander, I know how to read. I was trained in the art of reading by the great vizier himself, has received a message from our soldiers stationed at the troublesome northern border of the Mark of Torque. Scarum smugglers are offering to provide us large quantities of red iron, a strange metal that can break even the strongest steel. Ah, yes. This I remember. Before I even progress, we need to consider. Our goal is to conquer. Our goal is to hire. Our goal is to create vigilantes. In order to do this, we require arms. I think about this. Good point, Requiem. The army wants the majority of it, but there is a lot of money to be made by trading it. Oh, interesting. Do we reserve the red iron, a strong metal, for the army? Ooh. Ah, interesting, interesting, interesting. When you vote against a council member, your relationship will worsen, and you will eventually become your enemy. Voting in accord with a council member will improve your relationship, and if it reaches the maximum level, you can spend coins to form an alliance. I do not have enough coins at this moment. We can try. An aye vote would improve our relationship with Dualac again, and it would improve our influence, and it would give the red iron directly to the army, keeping the power centralized, something we can hopefully mobilize in the future to destroy our enemies. However, voting against 2 other houses will require me to spend power. It will cost me 2 power to do so. I could also pay 4 coins to flip one of the council members' votes to sway them the other way. Perhaps this is an important time to do this. An excellent point, Kung Fu Fenris. I have to assume that the other councillors have essentially organized behind these houses, or that these are spearheading the aye and nay sides. But you'll notice there are spaces for more complexity as the dilemma progresses. The question I'm asking myself, I will be voting aye, this is correct. However, am I to spend power? Or if you vote aye, you anger two houses, but dude. But if you vote nay, you work against your goals. What's your goal worth? An excellent question, Requiem Lost. The goal is worth everything. The Crosshair, an excellent question as well. Down here to the right, I believe I can see that we have 8 coin, 8 power of 8, question mark, 2 prestige and 2 crave, which is fine. It will cost me half of my coin reserves to flip one of the votes, but only 2 of the 8 power to overrule. Excellent. Then, I am sorry to the houses that are not going to be happy, but you shall be overruled. I realize the kingdom is currently in some sort of financial flux, but we shall find a way to make money. A strong economy requires a strong army. The High Commander contacts the smugglers to establish the operation. A steady flow of red iron from the mostly unexplored lands of the Folafoir Mountains is supplied directly to the smiths of the army, with only a little remaining for our merchants. Perhaps Kung Fu Fenris's tribe lives to the north, in the Folafoir Mountains. Ah, Elizabeth, I wonder as well when House Matrix would deem it appropriate to show the hell up. Get in here. We've been deciding the future of the kingdom for hours. However, I will say there doesn't appear to be a way to pass and gather power, strangely. Although now that I have spent power, perhaps there will be a way to recoup it. To thank the king for a prosperous business, the smugglers gift him a masterful red iron sword named Scarlet Tide. Ugh. The army soon elects the blade as its symbol and as a sign of its future power. A significant portion of the imported red iron starts flowing towards the armory. Military smiths begin experimenting with new ways of working with it. Perhaps that will improve our technological stance in the future. Red iron is difficult to mold, but a few blades are forged for the most elite regiments. Well, good thing we did not leave it in the hands of other people. Ah, Rock Pence. Welcome. Welcome indeed. I am very happy, Rock Pence, to note that we have another member of House Matrix joining us today, the Puff Puff Pass and Gather Power House. I am very happy that you have decided to join us for the King's Dilemma Chronicles. I shall fill you in briefly on what is happening. As a member of the House of Crana, we have goals that we are working towards. We also are the head of the King's Council, and therefore, we can make the decisions that will impact the kingdom forever. I shall give you a brief overview once I have finished reading this. If a resource is moved twice in a row in the same direction, it will move an additional step. The icon will show you the last direction it moved, and there you go. After the second time, it will gain momentum again. Perfect. Our influence is almost to the top of the track. This is good. We're important shit. Got it. Thank you for the overview. Thank you, Rockpence. As always, an excellent counselor. Simple, plain, and teeming with wisdom. House Cran wishes, this is us, to conquer another kingdom. Recruit in the army people of Natar and institute a vigilante force. These are things I would like to try to do. House Matrix. I would like to point out that my relationship with many of the other houses seems to be falling quite rapidly. Specifically our rivals, Coden. Blech. However, Dualac. Oh, great question, Kung Fu Fenris. Let's look. We have the best relationship with House Dualac. Soon I shall have enough relationship to form an alliance with them. Excellent! This is the House Allwed. Life is to be enjoyed. Naturally, we have a positive relationship with these fools. Neutral with House Bloden, because I believe I voted both for and against them a couple of times. Our rivals, the House Coden, and then currently, also neutral, the Duchy of Solad. The Crosshair, I hope that you can inform us as to the outcome of the assistant's bookshelf. Did it survive the horrible attack? Let us know. We are also negative towards... Yeah, Matrix is under no one. In fact, no one is higher than us. Sweet. Puff puff, pass for power. The Duchy of Torque, Tyril, Olwyn, and Gamam are all not particularly happy with us, and this is fine. We are doing what we can to make sure that life is good and that our goals are met. Ah! The little symbol here to the left, as you can see, represents the story in question. Let's see which one is which, shall we? Oh, we should be like House Matrix, my dude. Excellent. So, the first quest is perhaps the main, if you will, the King's Dilemma. And then there is also this one. Ah, yes, the distant reward, the gold, yes. But we're not quite sure exactly... Huh. Don't know. No doubt, Bukujutsu. And she shall run a small bakery, and it shall be called... amuse-bouche. You made that joke before. I shall think on a bakery joke. One that is appropriate for the Lugaru nation. Bakery. You suspect we will all play the test characters? Oh no! Ah, I will play a Silent Strider Theurge then, Kung Fu Fenris. Now, as I mentioned the other day on stream, Kung Fu Fenris, I am not familiar with all of the tribes. Somewhat more with the auspices and what they represent. I look forward to reading all about them, so I can find what tickles my fancy the most. Alright, we have advanced a little bit of each of these plots. I would like to... we want to... here's what we need to do. We need to try to move morale and knowledge either up or down so that we can score additional points. Liz the Shadowlord. Knowledge, wealth, this is... okay. Ooh, this will move much. Ooh, and this has coin! I see there is coin attached. Let us do this. I shall see how it... Oh, no, it costs coin! Son of a gun, I did not know! Oh! Gah! Curse your name forever! It must be the House of Coden who has set me up this way. Cirello, a Codenian merchant from Duin. You son of a... The high rise is... I have a high rise for you right here, Pukajutsu. My God. Ah, excellent, the Crosshair. Excellent indeed. The Crosshair. Something to know. What I believed was a reward of coin for doing a dilemma, it turned out was a cost for initiating the dilemma. So in fact, I am now down to 3 coin. This is terrible news. I did not know. And it is the Codenians who have done this devious work. 3 coin. 3 coin only. A Codenian merchant has taken an interest in the Scarlet Tide, the king's red sword. He's offering a kingly sum to purchase a replica. The army, however, has grown attached to its new symbol. They would not like to see its symbolic value tainted and diluted for the caprice of some lazy Codenian merchant. Perhaps I shall simply form enemies with the House of Coden. Those bastards. Do we allow a replica to be made? Spend coins to corrupt a council member and change their vote. The cost of corruption for each council member will increase each time you use it. Corrupting a council member will freeze the relationship between your houses. Use corruption wisely to manage your relationships and your power. Oh, then perhaps I am literally aren't as protege. You may be correct, Kung Fu Fenris. You seem to recognize these things better than I. I am simply looking for... I cannot seem to access it at this time, unfortunately. Coden, these, I believe they were known as Coden, but perhaps I may be wrong. Do we allow a replica to be made? No. I do not like the lazy Codenian merchants. Everyone else seems to agree. What will it give me? Morale, baby, morale. This I like. Simple, straightforward, done. We politely decline. Our soldiers rejoice over our decision not to turn their symbol into some commercial product. Disgusting. You can buy red iron swords at every damnable street hawk. Codenians are known for being rich and refined, but weak and decadent too. Ever since our decision to forbid the manufacture of the replica, the Scarlet Tide has been cherished even more. Its sight fills battle lines with courage and determination. Excellent. It has moved up. Not quite far enough. We must move it up slightly further. We have a positive morale. This is good. This is very good. Now, this is what... No, where is it? Coden! Interesting. Let us look at the info. The Duchy of Coden. Huh. Perhaps... Yeah, it is interesting, though, is it not? Very interesting. Well, we have a strong army at the moment, which I believe will aid us in conquering another kingdom. I do not know how to do the other secondary goals, but I shall try my best. Yes. Our relationship with Dualak, so strong. I simply need coins to form an alliance. This is very good. Very, very good. Bad intelligence. That was very bad intelligence. Oh, I'm sorry. Let us see. All right, now. Welcome to Dualak, a perfect town. The Coden lands. This makes sense, Kung Fu Fenris, as opposed to the duchy. A merchant is selling a pink-tied sword on the streets. It is gaining popularity. Shall we let this continue? The Crosshair, I will need one of these pink-tied swords for my own pleasure, testing purposes. I would like to know what they do, how much pleasure they would bring to the populace, and to my ass. Bring me one of these pink swords! Ah, goodness gracious. All right, what I would like to do, ideally... a dozen! Perfect! Perfect, the Crosshair. Excellent! Finally, this scepter of invisibility shall be put to use once more! Okay, we still have several dilemmas left before the possible death of the king. I would like to increase our morale further, our welfare further if possible. Ooh, no, I need to keep the balance down. I must drop knowledge. Drop the knowledge or wealth. Or, ooh, I don't want to drop knowledge though. But we cannot let this equilibrium. Some factions are accumulating more power than others, creating instability. This is difficult. Knowledge or wealth would be good things to move down, but morale... influence is important for us, I believe. Welfare remains paramount. A distant reward in the Ivory Desert. Requesting funds, are we, Laszlo? Never! All right. Laszlo, a botanist. Request funds to study the poisonous red cacti covering a small area of the Ivory Desert. Botany is not... Well, botany is a passion of mine, but is not a precise science. I use botany the way House Matrix uses plants, for pleasure, and to get through the day. Some believe them to be tears left behind by Orsel, the saint daughter of strength, when she took the burden of human brutality upon herself to free us from it. It may be sacrilege to say, but I have always believed, Mother rest my soul, that human brutality we can never be freed from. How dare you, Kung Fu Fenris! I am no dunce. I simply do not know the ways of science. You wouldn't let knowledge drop for the sake of wealth. Damn it. You're correct, Requiem. This is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Do we fund Laszlo's research? More knowledge, less wealth. And it will continue to improve our relationship with our allies. I must take it. Indeed. I hope only that by dropping the wealth, it will continue to reduce the stability of the kingdom far enough. More knowledge is always good. We authorize Laszlo to take some samples of the red cacti. Laszlo discovered the cacti are sturdy and need little water. They can grow almost anywhere, and if boiled, prove to be healthy and nutritious. Which is all well and good, but we will not serve them at a feast. This is important. Another positive for welfare. Okay. Instability remains high. However, we still are doing okay otherwise. This is all right. I need coin. And see how that turned out, Kung Fu Fenris. The great potato rot of the Duchy of Koden. Okay. I see an exclamation point here. Ah! Interesting. Purchase and grow red cacti to create nutritious food in case of a prolonged siege. They lose their characteristic red color when growing in mild climates such as Libra. It would appear that it would cost 3, whatever the status is here. This is 1 crave and 3 something. Exactly, Kung Fu Fenris. What could go wrong? And perhaps, again, is that a 1 coin cost or 1 coin gained? Unclear. Let us look at these preparations, shall we? Ah, thank you. Excellent. Ooh. Interesting. The table summarizes the type of preparations and their rewards. The time to complete, so how many reigns it would take. Whether it unlocks a final dilemma and rewards you with how many coin at the beginning of each reign. Ooh, I would like to do this, please, but it might take some time. Well, that coin is next. Interesting. Oh, no, here it is as well. I see. So it unlocks a final. It takes 1 reign. It would provide a coin at the beginning of every reign. This is very good. Very good. So, if I am to gain prestige and crave, I will then spend it to import the red cacti. I need coin. Gaining coin shall be the most important thing, I believe. At the time, or at the moment, I should say. So these secondary goals provide power and the narrative goal provides prestige and crave. Interesting. Right, well, we cannot allow the stability of the kingdom to improve even more, however. So I may need to drop either morale or influence or knowledge once more. Let us return... Ooh. Yes, let us return to Libra now. Uh-oh. The first weapons made with red iron. Not good. Upon inspecting the first weapons made with red iron, the chief doctor realized it would be a wonderful material for medical equipment, as it is sturdy, even when thin. The crosshair, I would have to check. The white crown represents the prestige, the sort of positive selflessness, perhaps, of your house, whereas the black crown represents the crave points, which, again, I think only will come into effect perhaps at the end of this whole story, during the unrest, whatever that means. Some suggest we should prioritize forging swords over scalpels, but our medical knowledge could vastly benefit from such, yes, superior tools. Yes, this makes sense, the crosshair. Do we prioritize medical uses for red iron? Everyone wants us to. Oof. Well, we shall probably tip the scales here, my friends. By doing so, however, we shall tumble over into many positive and negative places, and therefore, yes, there's not much I can do otherwise, so I believe this is what we must do. There is a part of me that wishes to not prioritize medical uses. For the health of the people is key, but my house also wishes to conquer for the good of all. However, on this occasion, we shall prioritize medical uses. Keeping our people alive is more important than giving death to our enemies. Well, debatable, but so says the council. We prioritize the use of what little red iron we have for medical tools. The army would have preferred to wield more offensive tools. I hope I have not made a terrible mistake. The invention of more agile medical tools made with red iron, allowing unmatched precision when incising the human body, brought great enhancements to our medical knowledge. Another preparation, excellent! Boom! Torture discussion. The king has abdicated. We have far too little money and far too much happiness in the streets. At the end of each reign, you will gain rewards as described by your moral alignment. If you manage to put all the resources in the target area, you'll get even more rewards. Aha! Exactly, Requiem. Live and let live, dude. However, I put 4 of them in the correct place. This is good. Ah, rebel. So, as a rebel, I receive 1 prestige for every resource in the upper area, 1 crave for every resource in the lower area, 1 additional of each if the central is empty, which it is not. This is fine. However, as a rebel, I've done quite well for myself. Coin and... Yay! Yay! Coin and power! Huzzah! At the end of each reign, you'll have to choose the moral alignment for your heir. I like this, my son. So now every time, of course, I shall die and be reborn. My sincerest apologies, as you will have to watch this happen. My son, you have been good to me. I need you to continue to... Oh, hang on. I'm actually going to read these before I die and so on. Once you fill out a track of greedy or moderate or extremist or exactly the crosshair, you receive crave or prestige or crave. Greedy. Coins for every resource in the lower half of the track. Additional crave if all of them are there. Interesting. Scottimius, son of Scottimius, son of Scottimius. Again, 70th of his name. Prestige for every white resource, and crave for every black resource in the central area. Interesting. This is correct, Pukajutsu, and so all of the characters of Method Madness dovetail together in a way that was predicted by my social media manager all those years ago. This is not something that is just happening at random. No. This was planned meticulously. The extremist, you gain 1 coin for every step between highest and lowest, and then you gain additional if maximum distance is reached. And then, of course, if you are opulent, you gain prestige. Early on now, I believe, exactly, Pukajutsu, Dr. Biff the Boss. That is correct, Requiem Lost. Do not ask me what my PhD is in, for it is something so arcane, so obtuse, that even I do not fully understand it. Now, let us, of course, surgery. Oh, I love this. I love it, Kung Fu Fenris. Oh, that is so sweet. Do we want to maximize crave? I think we will take greedy. My son, you must... I have done so much for the kingdom. You must prioritize the house. Make sure you make decisions that will maximize our treasury for the people to come. I hope so, Pukajutsu. I hope so indeed. Spend your prestige and crave points to prepare for the uprising. Okay. Rewards are collected at the beginning of each... I think there are going to be upwards of 50 Requiem Lost, and I do not wish to create... The more characters that are created for Method Madness, the closer we range to something truly vile and, you know, possibly discriminatory. Rewards are collected at the beginning of each reign after you complete the preparation. Additionally, most preparations unlock a dilemma that you will face. Excellent. Ooh, Barracuda. I cannot build a royal treasure room. So sad. No, I would agree with this, Kung Fu Fenris, as well. Store the riches of the kingdom in a secret room inside the castle keep. Studying the terrain around the capital of Ankist will allow the construction of underground tunnels and structures. This is good. This is important. But I wonder if this is too forward-thinking for a greedy son of Scottimius. Supply the medics with red iron tools. This will, I believe, give me 1 coin. I would like to import this red cacti. 3 prestige, 1 crave. So this is very interesting. As a quick tangent, perhaps, I am aware that my social media manager has already competed in the Kingdom of Ankist with the RPG Clinic, crew, long may they reign. The RPG Clinic family. Legacy. Long may they reign. And at that time, prestige and crave were simply gained with no knowledge of what they may do. But here, you may use them to purchase preparations for the eventual destruction, overthrow, saving of the Kingdom of Ankist itself. I believe we should import red cacti. This will give me more. Very interesting. Let us do this. Oh, and I have enough to start researching Libra's geology as well. You will unlock more preparations as you progress. Visit the screen frequently to prepare for the big battle. Ooh, interesting, Kung Fu Fenris. I like it a lot. So we have importing the red cacti in progress. Researching Libra's geology as well. I believe this is something... This will open up the possibility of more gold in the future. What is prestige and crave for if not to be spent? I need more coin. With more coin, I will be able to form an alliance with the Dualox. Or perhaps buy out some of my enemies. Does that mean, like, our children will take our place? This is correct, Requiem Lost. For always an emperor passeth down from parent to child, much as the problems and the hopes of every generation will proceed to the ones after it. You can find previous tutorials. Great. Okay. Please note, we have started here with... Where are you? Chronicles? We start with negative, somewhat lower influence. However, the morale of our people is up with the Scarlet Pride, up with the red cacti, and up with tools of knowledge. Remind me, as greedy, I believe this means I want to keep things, yes, in the lower half of the track. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Good, Requiem Lost. Very good. We shall continue. Let us stay with the kingdom of Ankist for now. Let's see what more we can do. We have lost contact with the smugglers. The smugglers, of course, were providing us with the red iron that we used to forge the Scarlet Tide, as well as some other weapons and medical tools. Many think they fell prey to Scarum raiders in the lawless mountains. Some suggest we should send a military contingent to investigate. A dangerous quest, as it could be seen as trespassing by the kingdom of Enkal, with whom we have not had contact for decades, and whose military strength is unknown. A wise warrior, philosopher once told me, if your enemy's strength is unknown, you must scout them out, or else they shall find you lacking in preparation. Do we send the army to investigate the smuggler's disappearance? Yes, of course we do. Yes. This will reduce the welfare of our people. However, as a greedy little fuck, I think this is no bad thing, necessarily. Ooh, voting nay would reduce two things. But I do want to send the army to investigate the smuggler's disappearance because I want to have the army ready to invade another kingdom. This is a narrative goal for myself. And the only people we are really pissing off, are the Codens again. Blech. Our soldiers leave Torque, heading to the harsh Falafwar Mountains. Only a handful of them come back. Oh boy. Egg on my face. Somebody clean up this egg on my face. They found the smugglers' camp and their corpses near the Enkal border, but were attacked by a handful of extremely skilled fighters, bearing red iron weapons and armor. Despite their superior numbers, our soldiers barely managed to escape. The sacrifice of our soldiers north of the border gave us insight into the kingdom of Enkal's military strength and way of fighting. Gain knowledge and declare war, my dude. Win-win. Less you lose. Keeping it real. The prospect of further research on the subject excites our scholars. Despite the relatively short distance, contact with the kingdom of Enkal was lost for decades. The bitter lands that divide us allow very few exchanges, and they never had much to offer anyway. Burn. Though they were a militaristic society, we considered the Enkali as inoffensive as the Scarums, nomadic tribes living in the unclaimed brown hills along our border. You can come to our party as long as you bring beer, dude. Despite their small numbers, it seems they've become a threat, thanks to red iron. They must have discovered it only recently, but they mastered its harvesting and smithing much better than we. The scouts we sent even sighted an impressive fortress, reinforced with huge red iron plates that they call the Crimson Keep. Interesting. Very interesting. I'd like to descend further. Oh, of course, Kung Fu Fenris. Oh, so much positive. So much positive thinking. Perhaps next time I should be more opulent. Interesting. Let us remind ourselves. We still need coin in order to forge alliances and so on. So this reign shall be with the intention of gathering gold. Base jump off the Crimson Keep. Now that is badassery worthy of an emperor. Excellent work. Excellent work, advisors. This reign shall be about gathering gold, which we will then use to secure our alliances and knock our enemies from the council forever. That's what we will do. Let us see. So, I would like to knock down, if I can... Oof, morale should decline slightly, perhaps. I do not mind if other things decline as well. Where to? Let's pursue this kingdom of Enkal. No. If we are to be greedy, we shall pursue the distant reward of the golden... what was it? The Fountain of Pure Gold or something? The Ixurs, a nomadic tribe living in the unclaimed lands of the Gaunt Isthmus, south of the Mark of Kran, that is us, are asking to join our kingdom. Interesting. They could strengthen our army. Excellent warriors and camel drivers, able to exploit the few resources offered by their arid steppes to survive. Very interesting. Many are distrustful of their barbaric customs. Do we welcome them into our kingdom? This will probably reduce... Ooh, interesting. Many hope no. Kung Fu Fenris, you should be pleased if I was to vote nay. They wish to join the kingdom, but if I force them out, perhaps they will be forced back into your muscular, rage-filled arms. Interesting. Requires 4 whole power in order to overcome what everyone wishes to do. I could also pay coin to flip. I don't think that is such a good idea either. Perhaps I will find another way to move morale down further. We'll keep knowledge high. Perhaps we'll keep morale high. We require 4 power. I could spend gold to flip my allies to my side. Do we welcome them? This is a good question. What saith you, advisors? We have Requiem Lost specifically asking that we do indeed welcome the tribe into our kingdom. It will lower morale, thus improving our greed. It will also slightly the opposite of mollify. It will make us slightly more make our allies slightly more unhappy, but we can hopefully regain their trust in the future. If we have this somewhat barbaric warrior tribe in our kingdom, perhaps we can use them to conquer perhaps we can use them to conquer another kingdom. 4 whole power. You want to keep gold. Spend power to gain gold. Easy choice. Gilladgood, welcome to the reign of Emperor Scottimius II this time. The greedy one. Well, if you have been here before, my apologies, I did not see you, but welcome indeed. I think we must spend some of our hard-earned power. This is important to the House of Kran, because we shall use these warriors in our eventual conquering of another kingdom. The Ixor's night chants keep many people awake, and more than once their brash and inconvenient attitudes bother our men and women alike. Look, I love a good party as much as the next person. In fact, probably much more. But I believe that one must have strangers at a party, or else they become same. Oh, excellent. Oh, never. Well, Gilladgood. Welcome indeed. I just met today. It was fabulous to have you here. I hope you are doing well. Ixer camel riders excel at speed and skirmishing and make an excellent vanguard for our infantry. Yes. Good, so we have influences currently, but oh!
Subscriber. Thank you.
Requiem lost. Thank you indeed. And Pukajutsu, advisor of sweetness, would probably say, thank you, ooh, or something to that effect. I am thrilled to have you here, all of you. Just keeping it real, my dude. Excellent. The greed improves. We shall continue. The distant reward in the Ivory Desert. Thank you. Ooh. Oh no! Gilladgood, this is terrible news. Have you tried ordering it to be fixed? Fix thyself, I saith unto a pipe. This is a defense mechanism to be funny. That is terrible news. I hope it is cleaned shortly. The caravan of scholars seeking to retrieve the golden map is constantly threatened by desert raiders. Blah. Struggling to move forward. The un pipe. Ceci n'est pas un pipe. This here is not a pipe. If we don't send them military aid, they'll be forced to deviate to the city of tents to stock up on supplies and hire mercenaries. Neither of those are necessarily bad. Do we send reinforcements to the Golden Map expedition? More soldiers away from... Wow. People... Woof. People are... Whoa! Uh-oh! If I... Okay. Now, this is interesting. Let us discuss this. All of our allies, and indeed one of our enemies, would prefer for us to say aye. I could spend 4 of my... If I vote nay, I will go to 0 power, and the reign is over. At which point we will have some gold. Great. If I spend half of my treasury, I could flip one of my allies or enemies to the other side, to nay, and then it would cost less power. However, I wish to keep things in the negative. The greed, my friends. Spending gold to make gold makes no sense. As the great prophet RuPaul once said, you gotta make that money to spend that money, or whatever the line is, I do not remember. However, it would seem that the majority of the council favors aye. They have all decided that this golden map is worth their time. We send troops to support the caravan. Scholars finally reach the remote Temple of the Mother in the middle of the Ivory Desert. Soon we'll discover if the golden map is really there. However, fatigued by travel, you'd better work! Sarah dies before she can see her home again. This is tragic as hell. This is unfortunate. After wandering for days, our expedition sights a rocky plateau protruding from the desert, the ruins of a temple atop it. They think it dates to the time of Ahmad, the first king, but it was pillaged recently. Inside, they find the dried corpses of dozens of sand priestesses, an opulent version of the cult of the Mother that, though we worship the same goddess, had lavish ways, in stark contrast with the sober purity of our cult. Oof. I much prefer the cult of Mommy. Alright. The ruin surrounds a huge oasis, and based on rough interpretations of the ancient inscriptions, it was called Chalice Peak. Most of the temple's riches were stolen by the raiders, but the inscriptions suggest a bigger treasure, maybe hidden in a secret chamber. Interesting indeed. We now require dropping 3 of our resources, if we can. If we can. Let us continue to find this... Oh, dear. The problem is we also want this chalice, do we not? It will provide us with gold. Infinite gold, perhaps. Ah, this one costs gold. No! We shall not do this. Let us continue investigating this strange chalice. Some mosaics discovered at Chalice Peak could help our scholars better understand the cult of the Sand Priestesses. The librarian chancellor suggests we bring them to Libra, despite the costs involved, so they can be studied without requiring long and unsafe travel. It is still a temple of the Mother, though, and the holy attendant thinks it should not be further profaned. Well, this is a okie dokie. Very interesting. Once more, it becomes clear that our allies wish to not disrupt the cult of the Mother here in the kingdom of Ankist. We'll also drop our knowledge. Perhaps that will create something else. It is not at the cost of gold, simply at the cost of being a little bit greedy. We shall take it. The librarian chancellor's proposal is rejected. Art pieces should be left where they belong, especially if they're tied to the cult of the Mama. Excellent, Crosshair. Bring those pink-tied swords directly to me in my chambers. Lock the door behind you. The holy attendant thinks Lyria, the saint daughter of the creative arts, guided our decision with her wisdom. Excellent, Gilladgood, thank you. I recommend that you be greedy and listen to Book more. Good, perfect. We shall continue to knock this down further if we can. Wealth and influence. Wealth and morale, rather. Ooh, a huge collection of golden items. I am greedy. However, let us return to... No, let us venture over to something complete... now for something completely different. The Tribune reports to us that an unprecedented drought has hit Tyrol, ravaging crops and decimating the cattle. The price of bread is increased to the point many cannot afford it. But the Kingdom of Muir is offering us uncannily cheap wheat. Yes! Scottimius II's slut era! Perfect, Pukajutsu. I will do anything for that gold, baby. Sorry. It was right there, Pukajutsu. Please let me have another crack at it. I will do anything for that booty, baby. There it is. Nailed it. Importing it would save the poorest from starvation, but its low price is suspicious. Do we import the Murian wheat? Now, I do not like the idea... damn it. Excellent, Pukajutsu. Thank you. Shoot. They have cheap wheat probably because their wheat is somehow poisoned or somehow will not grow well here or something to that effect. I do not like it. I do not like that all of my allies wish for me to save the people and spend some money. Bleh. I must be greedy! Ooh, an excellent question, Rockpants. If I were to deny the importation of the wheat, I would lose both morale and welfare, which would be good considering I am greedy. However, I would have to pay to convince at least one of my allies to switch votes, which is not so bueno. This is an interesting question. An interesting dilemma, as it were. Good question, Requiem Lost. If I am to reach 0 power, my reign immediately ends, and we enter a new reign. Now, I wonder if they mean immediately or whether we at least get the outcome of the dilemma. If we get the outcome of the dilemma, then at least we'll have a couple more resources in the bottom half of the track. But you'll see my power would go to 0 because I have to pay 4 power to convince 1, 2, 3 members of the council plus 1 to switch sides. However, if I were to pay to switch one of their sides, then I would be able to vote nay and only spend 3 of my power. This is a very interesting dilemma, I must say. On the one hand, the people must eat. On the other hand, I am somewhat suspicious of their low-priced wheat. They are more towards batons, says the crosshair. The blade guard has 2 round ornaments and there's no hilt. I've left them by your bedside with the gallon of olive oil you requested. Thank you, the crosshair. Keep that olive oil a-coming. Excellent, the crosshair. It would appear that Emperor Scottimius II has indeed entered his slut era. Give me those pink-tied swords, baby. At any rate, I suppose we could see if this would... I need to know if this would undo it completely. That's what I need to know. Whee! Look at all these things. If your power reaches 0, the current reign will end. But does that mean afterwards? It's an interesting question. These dilemmas seem to get harder with every passing day, much as I do. Whoa, Emperor Scottimius, disgusting. This would keep us alive a little further. It would keep one of the resources in the lower part of the track. Is this my legacy? To reap the gold of not importing Murian wheat? Let the people die in the streets all for some damn greed? Oh, you mistake me for someone who cares about my legacy, Gillard Good. I mean, you do not, actually. I clearly do. Oof. I think it might be. Isn't that awful? Kung Fu Fenris, of course, does not respect Emperor Scottimius II, nor any of them, really, but this is all right. It would absolutely destroy me to have to do this. Spend 4 coins. Indeed, Requiem lost, and I would have time to try to bring them down further. But I think the gold is the key. People are going to be very angry. But the council cannot! Oh, the council cannot trust the wheat from Muir unless they are to explain why it is so cheap. We are voting... Oh, God. This is correct, Gillard Good. But my father instructed me to care only about the coins in our treasury so that my children could use them to greater effect. I'm voting nay. Some people believe our avarice might doom the poorest outcast to starvation. The royal treasurer praises our caution, but few others praise the council's efforts to keep the kingdom financially stable. Aha! Muir's offer of cheap wheat was too good to be trusted, and recent news seems to prove our wisdom. Merchants coming back from Muir claim they have seen local scholars pouring huge quantities of wheat into the Abney River, an indication of its poor quality. Yet with our other duchies also hit by the drought, not as dramatically of course, they are unable to help, and the scarcity of food in Vandus becomes a constant problem. Those living in the countryside manage to get by, but for the poorest outcasts living in the cities of the Mark, hunger is brutal. Oh, Requiem lost, keeping it real once more. If people are spending their money to eat, they cannot afford hitmen. I love this. Aha! So it does resolve. It does resolve. The king was dethroned. Now, as someone greedy, I received 6 coins. No additional crave, because I did not have all of them in the lower part of the track. But... Woo! So, we seem to reset to a certain amount of coinage and a certain amount of power. This is very exciting. I think now, given where we start, I could be a rebel this time. Scottimius III! What shall my father say to me? He managed to increase our stores of gold so far. Perhaps now we shall be opulent and take the additional prestige. Or a rebel. Using our coin procured through the careful management of funds and the not trading for wheat that might have saved the poor from starvation, Emperor Scottimius III, my son, you need not be greedy. Use the coin. Use it to make allies, defeat our enemies, secure the power. And thus passed my father, Emperor Scottimius II, to me, Emperor Scottimius III. I cannot, of course, take any additional preparations. Scottimius, son of Scottimius, son of Scottimius. And we got a gold here, excellent. Love this rock pansy, yes indeed. I have imported the red cacti. Oh, of course, Crosshair is correct. Keeper of the torture chambers, sorry, the secret police. My father was a man who valued his privacy very highly. My father was the kind of man who would keep things hidden inside himself at all times. It was important for him to be filled with pleasure at all times. He was the kind of man who would venture out into the streets after hearing of these strange replica red-tide swords known as pink-tide swords. And he would buy a dozen of them just to take them away from the poor and the destitute who may abuse them so that they could become more productive members of society. He is the man who would take a gallon of olive oil and use it for his own pleasure. Okay, let's continue. I have so much gold, baby! I love gold! It is time. Ooh, can I form an alliance? Ooh, grrr. We shall form an alliance with Dualak. Yes. And we have enough gold to also remove someone from council. I'm looking at you, Coden. Let's do this. I don't know what it means, but that has never stopped my father, nor my father's father, from doing things. We are opulent. We must spend our gold to the best of our ability. An alliance with Dualak? What? Your relationship isn't strong enough. How about this? Can we remove Coden from the council? Hell yeah! Get the hell out of here. Get out of here, Coden. Those sons of guns. Force go strong. Not when I bring my chainsaw to the fight. Excellent. Oh, a tale of sorrow. This is not good, is it? Managing our stability will be very important here because I would like to keep everything positive. So it may be difficult to keep the stability of the kingdom where it needs to be. We shall return to Enkal momentarily. I believe it is time to see what this tale of sorrow entails. Jaren, an extravagant sculptor from the Republic of Kaupias, offered to realize for us a beautiful statue of Rayla, the saint daughter of fertility, to bring spiritual relief to the troubled population of the Mark of Tyrell. That's correct, Gilladgood. But my father abandoned them for the good of my family, and of me, so that I could make better decisions, like forcing the Duchy of Coden from the council, those sons of guns. They do nothing but complain all the time. Ugh. A cultural achievement for sure, but quite pricey. Do we fund the statue? The question is, can our people eat marble? No. I thought I kicked you off the council. Get these guys out of here. Perhaps it takes time. Do we fund the statue? Knowledge will increase, wealth will decrease. Perhaps I will find a way to get it further back. Kung Fu Fenris, I believe I paid 10... Oh, I did not, for some reason. Oh, it didn't actually work. My mistake. I thought I had paid the 10 coins to knock Coden from the council. I'll have to do it after this. However, by voting aye, I'll be able to make an alliance with Dualok as well. Knowledge will increase. Wealth will decrease, to be sure. But I believe we will find some way of increasing our wealth once more. The statue inaugurates a new realist paradigm in the arts, enriching the culture of the kingdom. It was worth it. The statue of Rayla does not feed the hungry, but its majestic sight eases their mind. Very good. Morale starts high. It would appear opulence is the path of the future. This is very good news. Right. Excellent. Dualok, my friend. It's time to fight alliance. Hell yeah. Every time you vote against your ally, a heart will break. When the last one breaks, the alliance will be undone, and the relationship will return to its default value. Every ally that is not part of the council will lose 2 hearts at the end of the reign. Interesting. Well, why would they not be part of the council? I think we should also remove Coden from the council. I don't like them. Yeah, they're... Interesting. Oh, and then I must add someone in their place. I understand. Bukujutsu. There is more to be fed than the stomach and the loins. There is also the heart and the mind and the soul. My father knew this. He had a very greedy bottom. And he fed it constantly. My goodness! We must add someone else to the council. Ah, yes, we must also feed the elbows. Very important. Well, let's look here. I do not want to add nemeses of my allies. This is certain. So instead, she'll add someone. Not yet. Allwed seems nice. Exactly, Requiem, yes. The Kingdom of Keys in the Alkhed. Fearing an increasingly likely invasion from the south, they decided to join the Kingdom of Ankist. Your army has done nothing but observe a boundary that has not been crossed for generations. You enjoy life, good food, and excellent wine, but your supposed mediocrity and indolence are the object of frequent jokes and mockery. They sound like people who would love an ally. Join the council, will you, Allwed? Indeed, Rocky. Dualok are now our allies, and this is very good. Yes, the Southern Bloc, indeed. Allwed, Kron, Bloodwind to the west, and, well, Dualok is in the north, fine. Who is this? Oh, this is... That's actually the... Oh, Olwyn, huh? That's fine. Perhaps I will be able to increase my wealth here, back up to the opulent place. Perhaps. The people of Abnet, a village along the Abney River, complain its waters have become gray as ash. I swear to God, if this is from dumping that goddamn wheat in it, Muir, I'm coming for you with my red iron swords and my hot body. After irrigating the fields with their waters, their wheat turned gray. Oh, God! The bread obtained from that wheat has the same uninviting color. Many blame Muir for pouring their cheap wheat into the Abney, but they deny it. I blame you, Muir. Do we impose sanctions? Hell yeah. Oh, nay! No! All my allies wish for nay. Ooh. No! Interesting. Now. Indeed, the dilemma continues. Not sanction Muir. Our influence decreases. My allies remain happy. I must spend power in order to take my wealth back up, which is what I want as an opulent person, and I don't like Muir. And some of my alliances can... survive this. It can survive. We impose the sanctions. Muir says they didn't know what was happening, but it doesn't matter. They must compensate us. Exactly, weirdness. Exactly, Gilladgood. Yes! The additional funds from the sanctions will surely be helpful, but hunger haunts the cities of Tyrell, and the poorest outcasts are forced to eat bread produced from gray wheat. They call it ash bread. Ash bread is uninviting to most, but it is a gift to the starving outcasts who can finally afford something to eat. Although its effects were hidden at first, regular consumption causes sickly grayish spots on the skin around the lips and down the belly. This mark is now visible on many of the beggars from Vandus. They start calling them ashers. Many claim they are prone to violent outbursts. The rising tensions cause many incidents, and superstitious people even believe that their souls now belong to strange old gods. Ashers, however, claim they're just being discriminated against because they're poor, and visibly so. I mean, this is a good point. People with certain diseases also have been, discriminated against for many years. This is less good. However, ooh, good. We are almost back up into the plus side. We have heard the arguments, and with all due respect, we have considered them. Very good, Crosshair, yes. After taking into consideration, looking into our alliances and good graces, we are glad to inform you that you may indeed sook it. Love that. Love that for us. Castle Library, this is Asher's, The Tale of Sorrow. Iron that pierces the sky. We have many dilemmas. Many dilemmas indeed. Let's check in on our preparations. We will need prestige and crave in order to obtain more gold in the future, but that's all right. That's fine. Building a royal treasure room seems like a good thing to do. Very good, in fact. Very good. Behold my field of fucks. Lo, for it is empty, and I have no fucks to give. Perhaps we should pursue the kingdom of Muir even further. Perhaps. Not like that I have only so much power. Remind me of opulence. 1 prestige for every resource in the upper half of the track. 2 additional prestige if they are all there. That'd be much prestige. And then next time I could perhaps be greedy once more for additional crave to prepare for the future. The letters were also wrapped around a pink-tied sword and yeeted through their bedroom window. Perfect, the crosshair. A reign of terror is beginning. Recruit in the army people of Natar. I do not know what Natar is, but we shall keep our eyes peeled, our ears to the ground, and our noses to the grindstone. Conquer another kingdom. Kingdom of Enkal feels ripe for the conquering. Institute of Vigilante Force. Interesting. Oh, are they, Kung Fu Fenris? Excellent! Yay! I will wait, as I think perhaps of what to do. We shall have a few more. Perhaps we shall reach the end of my reign before we take a break for the... Yes, thank you, Rock Pants. There is tranquility in death. My father knew it, and that is why he died with his heart and his butt full. Oh, I understand, Kung Fu Fenris, thank you. Nutter right here. Boo. I love it. Okay. Iron that pierces the sky. Well, 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 the kingdom of Enkal. Yeah, I suppose so, Rock Pants. Increasingly, rumors of the fierce kingdom of Enkal worry our people. Many think you should recruit more soldiers to patrol the unclaimed lands north of the border. Not a bad idea. Scholars believe we should instead investigate the customs to ascertain whether they really are a menace and to clarify the misunderstanding caused by the smugglers. If I wish to conquer another kingdom, we cannot try to understand our enemy, we must simply defeat them. Do we recruit more peasants into the army? Son of a gun! You absolute asshats! Why do you not want to vote with me? Ugh! It's fine. Well, not recruiting more peasants into the army does not mean that we will not be able... It does not mean... Exactly, Rock Pants. Exactly. Allies. Pfft, what have you done for me lately? I am concerned about this. I don't disagree, the crosshair. What I am concerned about is that if it comes time for war with Enkal, we will be underprepared. So, perhaps we vote nay today. Keep knowledge high. We could try conquering the kingdom of Muir. That's not a bad idea either, Gilladgood. Keep our allies close. Keep our enemies closer. But keep our dangerous enemies very far away. Yes. Trusted scholars begin researching the customs of the kingdom of Enkal. A delegation of brave diplomats leaves for the Crimson Keep to ask for an official audience. Many, however, fear we are leaving our borders unprotected. Knowledge up. All right. Our decision to investigate the culture of the kingdom of Enkal sparked the keen interest of our scholars, fascinated by their unusual customs and habits. After the initial diplomatic incident, our diplomats have been formally, invited to the northern court at the Crimson Keep, where they are welcomed respectfully, but coldly. Enkal is a small but highly competitive society. Fine, so is my bedchamber. What? Their clans constantly struggle for leadership, and their warrior kings must display continuous strength to stay in power, which explains their exceptional military prowess, of course. While some might regard them as barbarians, they are organized and disciplined. Oh, I hope so, Rock Pants. Meow. Serving in the army is the highest honor to them, reserved to those of proven might and impeccable courage. They are a formidable foe. Still, they are honorable. As long as they are not provoked, they should pose no danger. I must still attempt to conquer another kingdom. This is the goal of my... If not people, then... Woo! That's a lot of knowledge. A surprising amount of knowledge, even. How do I bring... I must bring wealth up. I can do it at the cost of knowledge if I must. Even though I know, Requiem, I was keeping it real, I have not yet done so. Kalpias. Dragons! Whoa. I see. Where are you? Copias. Whoa. But apparently they do not. Let us wait on conquering our enemies until we have found out more. Requiem. I could not agree more. I must keep it real with the knowledge of my family, but also the knowledge of what I wish to do myself. I need additional armies in order to conquer my enemies. To the desert! I must spend gold in order to deal with this dilemma, which I do not have. However, this one perhaps I can do. A huge collection of golden items has been found inside a secret chamber. Ancient scrolls, golden statues of the mother, jewels, and the golden map. Some fear taking these relics away could unleash a curse upon us. Oh no! But leaving them could lure many desperate fortune seekers into the desert. Come and curse me. I will laugh amidst all my golden objects. Do we collect only the golden map and leave the treasure behind? Oh, interesting. Welcome, John, to the rule of me, Emperor Scottimius III, son of Scottimius, third of his name, Opulent, in deed and word, whose father was a greedy bottom, and whose grandfather was a rebel. I hope so, John Verrill. There are many enemies of my house, which I would love to show you, but I cannot because we are in the midst of a dilemma. Do we collect only the golden map and leave the treasure behind? I would love to take the treasure as well. That would improve my wealth. Oh, God. Barbie Heimerdinger. Bless you. Ugh, they are the worst. The worst. The morale of our people would improve if I were to vote aye, as would a new ally, perhaps. Indeed, as the wise prophet John once said, raise thy dongers high, swing them to and fro, helicopter, helicopter. I know. I have enough power to get away with this. I am not greedy, but I am opulent. My apologies, Elizabeth. House Matrix may return to its puff puff pass. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Requiem Lost. I appreciate your advice. Indeed. I would like this treasure, and then the opulence shall continue. Leaving such a huge fortune behind, just because of the fears of the superstitious, would be foolish, to say the least. The prospect of finding even greater riches thanks to the golden map can't justify such a waste. Even if completely unsubstantiated, fear of terrible repercussions for stealing the sacred gold of the Sand Priestesses haunts the thoughts and dreams of our people. Oh no! More blood wine for the people! Help them forget! I do not fear ghosts. Chiseled into a single golden leaf, the map has a grandiose look. As gold easily stands the test of time, its age is unfathomable. However, old legends speak of a golden map leading to an endless fountain of liquid gold, as if such a thing could exist. Ridiculous. The numerous old scrolls were obtained together with the map are full of references to a sun empire. Ah, advisor of sweetness, allow me to fill thy mouth with my canned cheese. Spray cheese, I mean. Good Lord, that sounds even filthier when I say it aloud. Please block thine ears as I fill thy mouths with cheese. At any rate, Sun Empire, known only from ancient legends dating back to the ages before Almad, the first king. Oh my goodness. Scottimius II did indeed have wild-ass party nights. There were pink swords and golden fountains aplenty. My goodness gracious. We wonder whether this is the map of the old legends and how truthful they are. It may all be a metaphor for the power and riches of the Lost Empire. An expedition must be launched, but the map is not easily interpreted. Exactly, Rock Pence. We are almost at a place where we must add more to the council. I'm sorry to vote against you, my friends. It was important. Oh, I did not realize we were so close to the... That's fine. That's fine. We're in the... Opulent. Opulence! We own everything. A shark coochie board. Ah, good, Pukajutsu. I had to say it aloud in order to understand. That sounds absolutely divine. Not shark coochie, but, you know, the French. Opulence! The king has abdicated. Excellent. 7 prestige, as we have become opulent. Treasures galore enter the city of Libra, as well as the golden map guarded. Oh, gold, power, 7! Look at this! Oh, delicious. Now I require crave in order to make additional preparations. John, I must show you. I think this is quite interesting. Allow me to just do this quickly first. We shall be greedy once more, as my grandfather was before, as my father was before me. So you too, my son, shall be a greedy bottom. Emperor Scottimius, 4th of his name. John, I feel like you'll find this interesting for a solo version of the King's Dilemma. Crave and prestige now, rather than being simply resources that do something, are now available to be spent on preparations. All of these preparations provide some bonuses now, coin, perhaps, but also allow us to prepare for the coming battle, or the coming rebellion, or overthrow, or whatever at the end of the King's Dilemma. I have already imported red cacti, which is nutritious food in case of a prolonged siege, and I have researched Libra's geology. This is interesting to me. Having these resources readily available to be spent. Very cool. So I require crave now in order to do something with them. At least 2 crave. At least 2 crave. Biscuits and gravy skyscraper! Delicious. Oh, there's so much more.
Build a food pantry. Oh, if you're ever in need of a free meal, my lord, just come on down to the pantry. Martha's got a nice big charcuterie board for you.
Salacious wink. Yes, the time has almost come for us to end the King's Dilemma for tonight. However, we shall have one more dilemma. One more dilemma! As a greedy bottom. Excellent. Knowledge must decrease. Remind me, 2 additional crave if the resources are in the lower half. Okay, so I need to try to get all of them. Okay, this is fine. This is doable. I now have gold. Perhaps I should take this chalice in the desert business. Oh, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Asher's Tale of Sorrow, Golden Map, Chalice in the Desert, Know Thy Enemy. These are all the main sort of storylines. Oh! Interesting, Crosshair. The future, is it? The future. Let us try to knock knowledge down a peg if I can. Yes. We'll spend the 2 coin. Our scholars sent us a transcription of an ancient text engraved on a wall at Chalice Peak. It suggests that the Mother waged war against the Sun Empire of legend to free the world from its corruption and brought about its downfall. What is opposed to the sun? The eclipse, is it not? Perhaps a state-sponsored religion, the Mommy, is part of this strange dark sun eclipse. In doing so, she accidentally gave birth to a cursed black eclipse. Many think it should be dismissed as heresy. Do we verify the plausibility of the engraved text? I believe the answer to be nay, my friend. Do we verify the plausibility of the text? Knowledge is a worthy goal. But people, I believe, must be our be-all and end-all. The people of Ankist will benefit from our glorious reign. I am sorry, my friends. I cannot vote aye on this. I must debunk this. You may do so, John, when you are the head of the council yourself. House Verity may be displeased, but House Matrix is ready to get high. We decide not to investigate such a heretical hypothesis. The sinister image of a black eclipse lingers in our mind. Excellent. We are close to being greedy. One more? Oh, heck, one more, why not? What do we want to reduce further? A golden map. This seems valid. I like this golden map. The Tribune brings us news from the people of Three Trunks, a small village in the northern mark of Dualac. Dualac! They're our allies! They claim that a witch is living in the nearby Hedgehog Woods. She is rumored to be capable of weaving the laws of nature according to her will, but many fear her ways. Do we send the army to apprehend an alleged witch? Huh. There's only one way about this. I must convince the people of Dualac that it is in their best interests to keep the witch close. We shall keep a close eye on her. Exactly, Elizabeth. House Matrix. My great-grandfather used to speak of the House Matrix. I think we must change their vote to nay. I don't believe we should. Exactly. Mac and cheese. We will not spend our precious resources just because of rumors and superstition. House Dualac, do not be afraid. This witch woman of the woods, perhaps she has valuable knowledge. Observe her. Watch her. Find out what she needs. Some superstitious fanatics accuse the council of simply being afraid, and they assemble a group to address the situation on their own terms. Ew. A band of religious zealots, proclaiming themselves the Truth Keepers, starts roaming the Hedgehog's woods looking for the alleged witch. Lo, that sounds delicious. Welcome to the end of this, the Emperor Scottimius IV's dilemma. We will be ending shortly, but first we must learn of these Truth Keepers. Rumors about her ability to bend the laws of nature are becoming more common, enraging the zealots in their brutal search. The Truth Keepers believe that the locals are hiding something, and they are determined to make them talk. Truth Keepers, if you attack the good people of Dualac, I will be forced to see them poke you back with their spiny tails. During the following months, they frequently abuse the local people, to the point where they become more feared than the witch herself. My God. Before we leave, the Pink Tide Merchants is now selling the Wily Witch of the Wood stories with images and pop-up pages. The Crosshair, I believe in the good of, I believe the ability to read is useful for a populace. Yes, allow the sale, and allow me to have a copy of this pop-up Wily Witch of the Woods book to add to my collection of other literature. Please, and thank you. The eclipse moves forward. Excellent. The greed improves. lives. This is where we shall leave it, I believe. Yes. Yes, indeed. Shall enter the library post haste. Well, my loyal advisors, you have all been exceptional. I have here my scepter of invisibility. Valuable for what it can do, as well as what it has done. A small deck game. Interesting, Pukujutsu. As advisor of sweetness, I advise you to keep things sweet. Thank you all so much for joining me. It has been a pleasure and a privilege. I look forward to more... Ooh, the fox in the forest. That Elizabeth is, of course, correct. Oh. Has this also been up your butt? Gillard Good, I cannot confirm nor deny... Look, the way of the scepter is sacred, and I cannot tell you whether it has been passed down through my family for pleasure or work or both. If I were at the border and they asked, is your travel for pleasure or business, I would have to look at them and wink. That is all I'm going... Rock Pants is, of course, correct as well. Maybe I can just pull it out. Well, this cannot be pulled out. Thou shalt not change the channel. I'm going to need some music to leave you on as well. Whilst I find this music, I shall note, of course, as well as John is pointing out, and as Crosshair points out with the Discord, keep in touch with our community. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, that's a whole 3 hours earlier, you can catch another episode of Avatar Legends, The Mirror Scale. Be happy. Be joyous. For there shall be more legends of scaly mirrors. Cleared up by CLR, the Scale Buster, or whatever. I'm going to need some sweet music. Oh, I know what I'm going to find. Don't worry, I shall find it. Here it is. Yes. Thank you all very much. I enjoy being in these dilemmas, hunting for my house's way forward in the future. Perhaps we shall achieve some of those goals. We've already made a strong alliance and kicked one of our enemies off the council. Pow! Thank you all. I shall leave you with some music to contemplate the future. And we shall all think, of course, as Rock Pants has mentioned, if one enters with slips and humps, perhaps one should also pull out the butt staff at the end. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, in the name of my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and all of my descendants, make sure that your life contains pleasure. Goodbye from the Emperor Scottimius. Ta-ta!